Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhe Bhavatu Me Sada Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Hari Om, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Can someone recollect something, anything that we've seen last? Yes, please. We found the link and move ahead. Yeah. Anybody?
That state of samadhi, that the signs of a person who has reached.
Yeah. Okay. Arjuna
It looks
wanted
like a
to.
dream now.
Yes. Looks like a?
A dream.
It looks like a dream. Vita Raga. But have you seen somebody who is fearless in your life?
Yes.
Any example?
Always aspire.
Huh?
Mm.
Any example?
Like whatever they go through, they are always, steady.
You have met somebody.
Nothing can shake them.
You have met someone like that in life, is it?
Yeah, my grandmother,
Oh,
grandmother actually.
wow.
Like she's gone through such a lot, but the
Okay.
way she handles everything, and she was something else.
So probably we could say, isn't it? Sthita Moniruchyate. We could say she's free from anger, she's free from fear. If these two aspects,
Yeah.
that is what we can dhira. These are examples which can be emulated, isn't it? That is something.
And for her death, we had set everything ready.
Okay.
What has to be worn after her on her deathbed, what all is to be done. She's written and she's ready for it. No
Prepared.
hassle, no. Yeah, no noise about.
Yeah, right. So that is
She has to go.
yes, in life also, in death also, that balance is maintained. Okay, interesting. So we will see. 8th Adhyaya actually deals with the yogis and their journey after death also is mentioned in the 8th Adhyaya of the Gita. But let us see now. So this is one point. Somebody who is free from anger and fear. Somebody who is facing difficult times without suffering. These are indications of what we can say, a muni. Anything else anybody can share? Some other points that we saw? Yes, anybody?
And I really liked your trailer example, Sushruti.
I'm sorry, I don't recollect it. Which is
Yes,
it?
I had asked that why everything was introduced in the second chapter.
Okay.
And
Oh, right. Yes.
of what
Right.
is to come.
Yes. A lot of things are going to come in the Gita. It's going to
For
be
us also, it's kind of,
yeah.
what to expect further on.
Arjuna is going to have a roller coaster. So we'll have
Same
to see.
here.
Yes, see. So, Kailash is adding something? Yes, please.
Just maybe it's not anything to do with the Gita, but Ramana Maharishi went through an operation without the anesthesia.
Yeah.
That has stayed with me.
It is connected with the Gita. This is an example of you can say, an awakened human being who can turn off pain. Even normally we can say difficult moments, I can choose to not be emotionally upset. But here, raw physical pain also somebody can transcend. It's possible. That is why they say, there's a shloka later on in the Gita, we'll see, Yat Yat Acharati Shrestha. These are the examples worth emulating, isn't it? Somebody who has achieved, we have to try. We can try. Why should we try? Because when we try, at least even if we reach somewhere closer to them, we have still evolved, isn't it? So that is, yes, that is the Muni. That was one more point. Any other thing we can recollect what we saw from the.
Or recently, what happened with my friend, he went in for some heart pacemaker, something replaced. And anyway, they did something wrong. He had to go in a second time. And then anesthesia, last 15 minutes, just wore out. He says the excruciating pain that he went through, he wouldn't wish it on anyone. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, it is there. It is there. Sometimes we have no option also, isn't it? What can you do at that time? You'll have to bear. You'll have to bear. Absolutely. Yes. So that was one thing. Then something about desires.
Yeah,
Shwetaji.
yeah.
Yes.
So we can move beyond our virtues while, we all want to move beyond our sins. So also to move beyond virtues and carry that poise, which
Okay.
is, equanimity, and also to sublimate our desires so that we move towards higher desires, which could be like aspirational.
Okay. Yes. So the human, what we can say, attachments to sin and virtue also can be transcended. Okay. Yes. Shobhaji is adding something, is it?
Really,
No.
thanks.
All right. Fine. So na punyam na papam. We can just transcend. We go beyond what is the auspicious and the inauspicious. And also, we have seen again and again, Krishna is talking about a state where every desire is transcended. But there's a difference between transcending and suppressing, isn't it? Just the example of an addict. If you bar an addict from taking the source of addiction, what is going to happen? The mind will keep running there, isn't it? So you're physically preventing, but continuously it is there. The real transcendence will happen when the addict realizes, no, I need to get rid of this. I know of a friend of mine who used to smoke so much that in college he started coughing out blood in the final year. But that coughing out of blood made him realize, ki, hey, this is too much. I have reached that particular limit. I cannot anymore. I have decided I don't want to. And that was a transformation for him. So each individual must understand we don't have to go through a bad experience to transcend.
Like you gave up Bhelpuri.
Oh, yeah. I do not think I gave up Bhelpuri, at least desire for Bhelpuri. Because once in a while I do eat. Yes, I would be honest about that. So, yes, please. Let us continue. 60th shloka, we see that because even the wisest of wise, they might have done great works. Desires take them away. How many times we've heard so many idols, so many people we respect, so many people we revere, and suddenly we hear about them. We see that, oh, what is this? How did a person fall from grace? It's a simple thing. The individual lost his self-control, or the mind got carried away in the desire. So that is one thing. Next, 61st shloka, we see for the first time an indication. Krishna is giving to Arjuna an indication that he is not just ordinary. There is divinity in him, or focusing on the divinity can also be one way to overcome desires. Let us see. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha vashe hi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. Krishna says, capable of controlling the senses is only he who focuses and meditates upon me. For when the sensual distractions one overcomes, his intelligence awakened and illumined becomes. A nice way to control desires has been given to us. Who is capable? Who is capable of controlling desires? The one who is focusing on the divine. It is only when your disturbances, sensual distractions are overcome, that your mind can become awakened. The individual can become illumined, can understand things beyond the personal sense gratifications. Beyond that, a different world is visible. So, this aspect of focusing on the divine, meditating on the divine, do you think it helps? Can we overcome attachments? Can we overcome desires? Can we overcome our fears just by thinking of the divine? Anybody? Does it work?
Yes,
I think
if
it
we do
helps if you
japa, it
surrender.
works.
Yeah, one at a time. It was it Saritaji or it was Vijiji? Anybody? Yeah.
If
Yes,
we do, if we do japa, I mean,
okay.
mala japam ka jap, it helps detachment. It helps to
It
some extent.
helps. Okay, that is your experience. Okay, Saritaji says doing a japa It is a repetition of a particular mantra or the name of the Aradhya that has helped her overcome. Okay, that is one thing. Vijay was adding something.
For me, just giving it, just letting it go and telling God, okay, you handle it, has helped me a lot.
Okay, so yes, so this aspect, but we do not know if Arjuna is now a God-fearing, God-worshipping, God-loving individual. Right now, he is somebody who's not wanting to take part in the battle. But Krishna sees a secret, simple way. You want to control your desires, focus on the divine. Think of Hanuman, isn't it? What did he do? He was just doing one mantra, one japa, always, always in that. And what did that japa give him? Well, he became, we can say, not only the strongest, but he even became the one of the wisest. Buddhimatam varishtham is how he is described. So let us see. An interesting, simple shortcut has been given. Japa. There are so many. I mean, we are lucky in Bharat. We have so many aradhyas, so many margas, so many mantras. So maybe focusing on the divine can also help us overcome our desires. If we are not finding the strength, no harm in summoning the strength through a japa or a repetition of the name or focusing on the divine. Yeah, one friend of mine was there. When he had to use swear words, he would cover the photo of his guru and then use it. So I don't think it was very good or successful in, it's not a right thing. As if we cover the photo, it makes a difference. But at least to some extent, he has understood that I cannot be this bad because that much smaran should be there. I hope he has evolved. I hope he is not continuing the same thing. But this is still an understanding, isn't it? The very smarana of the divine. Kalaji is saying something. Yes,
I
please.
mean, it's about being mindful, right? Which most
Absolutely.
of us are not. That's
Yeah.
why we just blabber.
Yes, yes, becoming more aware, becoming more conscious. And sometimes it is so nice that even if you don't have any additional angle of devotion, you just, in difficult moments, you just go into a state of repetition, also you become mindful. That is interesting. We will look at it later when ways of worship are looked at in the Gita. But now that's one simple thing. Let's come back to the shloka. Why should you control? Because if you don't control, again, you lose control and go astray. Through a 62nd shloka. This is very interesting how 62 and 63 shows how a fall of a personality takes place. Dhyayate vishayan punsaha sangasteshupajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate. This is a very beautiful psychology only of humans. Those intellectuals who over subjects contemplate. Attached to those subjects, lost they become. And in their attachment, they are by desire overcome. And by desires within themselves, anger they generate. I repeat this once more. Those intellectuals who over subjects contemplate. Attached to those subjects, lost they become. And in their attachment, they are by desire overcome. And by desires within themselves, anger they generate. First comes so we're talking about even the intellectuals, those wise ones. Suddenly, what happens is they get a liking and they start thinking of the subject. Then, when they get too attached to it, they get lost in it. And in their attachment, they are then filled by desires. Desires then lead to anger. How do desires lead to anger, anybody?
Not getting it,
Yes, Vijay?
not getting your desire
Not?
will lead to anger. Not getting it.
Okay, not getting to desires leads to anger is what Vijay is saying. Okay, Rekha ji?
You lose your control now when you don't fulfill your desire.
Yeah,
You not lose your control.
yeah. We lose our
So,
control.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
And when does the desire get fulfilled? It's very rare.
desire, yes, it's
It's
very
very
rare.
rare. And then when something doesn't get fulfilled, again, it's anger, isn't it? This is a beautiful,
Yes,
this is something which happens. It's like just let us look at an intellectual who has found a wonderful subject. Could be any branch. Now the subject liking is good, but when that liking becomes attached, you get attachment, it becomes obsession, isn't it? And there's a line between liking and obsession. So this intellectual is now obsessed. Say it's a researcher, he's obsessed with the result. This research is going to change the world. This is the outcome that must come. And what happens? And that is how mad scientists are born, isn't it? They are now completely obsessed with a particular outcome. Sometime recently, just a few years ago, one of the topmost medical journals, the editor, and they found it's like it happens even now, if you ask me, but it was a big surprise when a very well-renowned name came out to be absolutely a farce in the name of research. Research methodology was thrown away. Why? It was just because of money that was got. Where is science and where is the result? And what happened to that individual who had worked so hard, had reached such a high state in the world among the top scientists? All gone because of what? Fudging results for a particular, they fudged results so that they get fundings for a particular research, which was again connected with a private company. And this happens so often. So many big journals have to retract. Sometimes a journal is only, we can say, it is deregistered also because of this. So this is what happens everywhere. So the aspect of obsession and attachment is something we should really be wary of, because it's never a good thing. And desires, yes, Kalaji, yes, please.
So also when we are so convinced about whatever it
Yeah.
may be, if
Yes.
someone has a differing view,
How
we
dare
don't
you?
like it.
Yes, isn't it? How dare, how dare. Then there's no patience also to hear the other view, isn't it? My view is the right view. When I'm so convinced, that is the bias which happens. We have to be wary of it. But then what happens with anger? Let us see. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. Smriti bhranshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat pranashyati. This is a big ladder of fall only for an individual. So what happens then in anger? They become hoodwinked by delusion. In delusion, their memory gets clouded. In this forgetfulness, their wisdom is destroyed, and this loss of wisdom furthers their annihilation. So what happens in anger? When you are very angry, everybody will look exactly how you think they are. That person is looking at me in a wrong manner. I'm already angry with that person. So even if that person is not looking at me also, I will start having those visions of that only. What we call delulu. That is exactly what it is. In anger, they become hoodwinked by delusion. And delusion, their memory gets clouded. Can you remember something when you're angry? Can you remember the past? Memory file erased completely. You are not going to remember things. So the memory has got clouded. What happens when you are forgetful or your memory is clouded? You forget the basic things, isn't it? So that leads to Smriti Vransha. Smriti Vransha leads to what we say? Buddhi Nasha.
मैडम
The
ये उन्हें
buddhi.
ध्यान है
Yes. In this forgetfulness, their wisdom is destroyed. And this loss of wisdom furthers their annihilation. Somebody's wisdom is destroyed. Personality is destroyed, isn't it? It's a full circle. From attachment, it started off with a liking. Liking became an attachment. Attachment became an obsession. Obsession led to more desires towards getting more and more into that obsession. They did not fulfill or they did not give the satisfaction. So the anger has got generated. Because anger has got generated, the person has got lost in own delusions. And in that delusion again, Smriti Bhransha. The Smriti Bhransha, Buddhi is gone, and Buddhi is gone, personality is destroyed. Idol of mine when I was in school, I remember I didn't think I'll become an engineer. At that time I thought I'll be a sports player. And that time there was one wonderful idol that I looked up to. He was a double amputee. And I thought, and he had aspired to be among the Olympic, able-bodied athletes also he wanted to compete. That was one of a very brilliant, what we can say, aspirations of such a athlete. I kept looking up to him and suddenly one day I got a news and I was so disappointed that he has shot somebody as in a fit of rage, he shot his girlfriend or wife, I don't know. And he has fallen completely from grace. And then he's tried to show that somebody entered inside and all that, whatever it was all called out, and this person fell from grace and lost everything. But if you look at it, it all boils down to that, isn't it? Somebody who has dedicated his life for something, taken so much efforts, but some desires didn't get fulfilled, so he got angry, and in the anger forgot what is right and wrong. Viveka Buddhi went on vacation. And what did he do? Something it's unforgivable. And look at that. Individual's life is destroyed. He is no more. Nobody can call his name as an idol also. So this aspect happens to everybody. If you allow desires to run and make you go astray, you will lose your memory, your ability to think, your ability to discriminate, all is gone. But what happens if you don't allow your desires to run away? Well, let us see. Raga Dvesha Vimuktaistu Vishayan Indriyaishcharan Viyuktaistu Atmavashyaihi Vidheyatma Prasadam Adhigachati. When one bereft of hatred and desires lives, and no authority to his senses he gives, that champion who reigns in attraction is blessed with the awakened self's satisfaction. I repeat once more, there is a prasada for such a person who has reigned in. When one bereft of desire, when one bereft of hatred and desires lives, and no authority to the senses he gives, that champion who reigns in attraction is blessed with the awakened self's satisfaction. So he is a champion. He is a true champion. Who is it who has controlled with self-control? He has given no authority to the senses. Sometimes people go on upvas, isn't it? Have you seen them? Anybody in our homes fasting? And that time, many times one person does fast, the other people feel like eating all the different types of foods and they try to show. It's a great test. But yet some people are able to stand because they have that will, that self-control. These are the champions. What do they get? Well, they get this prasad, self-awakening, a satisfaction of that awakened self. Question is, can one ever be without hatred and desires? Krishna says that person who is without desires and without hatred. Can we live that way? Without hatred and desires. Say, let us take one at a time. Can we live without hating? Is it possible for a human being to live without hating? Or hating is intrinsic to everybody?
No, no. Hatred, desire is all part of life, I think,
Okay,
for us humans.
they are a part of life which make life better, or they ruin
No,
life?
it doesn't make it easy.
Doesn't make it.
It doesn't make it easy, definitely.
All
We
right.
have to live with it. We have to live with that, no?
We have to
Yeah.
live with
That is,
hatred. Hatred is
and
a poison. Hatred is a poison that consumes
Yeah.
the individual that is holding it.
Yeah.
But isn't hatred a very strong word?
Many,
Yeah.
it is a truth,
You
no?
can dislike, but
Yes,
is it necessary that we'll hate?
absolutely. Isn't that a wonderful point? Disliking is okay, but do we have to
Yeah.
hate?
No,
So we
it's a
can,
strong word.
yeah, we can leave hatred to dislikes. I can have preferences, isn't it? I can say I like tea, I don't like coffee, or I like coffee, I don't like tea. I can say I hate the other thing because I don't like it. That is
Yes.
something, it is important because hatred creates a very strong, repulsive, sanskar inside of us only. Yes, Kalaji is saying something.
No, but when you read certain circumstances, they have gone through such
Triple, yeah.
horrific things. I
Yes.
mean, we cannot judge them that they shouldn't hate someone or something, you see, because
Is it? Means, do you think, Kalaji, even those who have gone through most difficult moments, they have the
Huh?
right, they have the license or right to hate?
I don't know if they have the license, but it takes. Now, if you recall the case of the monster father from Austria. For
Yeah,
25 years, his own daughter, he kept her in the dungeon and abused, even had kids through her. I mean,
right. These
he
are the
had no
Naradharma.
remorse even when he was being
Yes,
taken in, and
yes,
she's still going through therapy.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so it's not easy. That's all I'm
It's not
saying.
easy. It's not easy. But one beautiful thing is we can still rise above hatred. You can, a soldier can kill enemies, neutralize terrorists also without hate. Do you agree or not?
Yes, that I agree. But
Because hatred pollutes the individual, and catharsis is not possible if you have hatred. In any case, so hatred is something which somewhere, I may be wronged, absolutely wronged by everybody. I don't accept any of it. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to. I don't even say that you must forgive the wrong. It's like that's a very wrong statement sometimes, isn't it? But at least don't go to that hate point. Can Arjuna forgive Duryodhana for what he did to Draupadi, for example, in the Mahabharata? He cannot forgive, isn't it? But he will have to learn to not hate. The moment it becomes hate, his his ability to function will be destroyed. So the hatred is not possible for human. Pradipta ji is saying something. Yes, please.
Sir, I just wanted to add something to this.
Yes.
As a human being, we cannot stop hating or all these feelings. We cannot stop, but yes, we can control them. Like in Patanjali Yoga, it is said, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha, he's saying Nirodha. He's not saying completely you can,
No,
get rid
but
of it.
yoga cannot happen with dvesha ji. Yoga also, yoga
It is,
sthiti is
of
lost
course.
with dvesh.
Yes.
So hatred, maybe we can go to a non-acceptance, dislike, all that is accept. But let us not move into hatred. Don't you think we can work? Because Gita is going to clarify a little bit more about hatred later on.
Yes.
Krishna is going to tell Arjuna to fight the battle without any hatred for the wrongdoers.
Also, are we hating the person or are we hating the actions which he has done? What actually happens?
We are not hating anything. We can dislike, we can reject. Rejection is also important. We don't have sadhana requires us to reject things which are lowering our consciousness. But hate comes in, you are yourself creating a poison. It's like probably only Neelakantha can store the poison here, isn't it? Bholenath can hold the poison venom there. We human beings are not designed to hold venom. It will ruin us as an individual. So this is one thing. Hatred, let us say it's possible. But desires also, there are ways which with yoga sadhana or Krishna is telling that if you are free from these two things, what will you get? You get the Mahaprasad. What is that Mahaprasad? It is the highest awakening. And there have been people on earth, living, breathing, walking people, just like us, who have reached this state. Who have reached this state. It is possible. We do not know. When I was very young, actually, my grandfather would have the habit of Rama Raksha. Stotra he would read. I was in a rush all the time, always in a hurry. But one thing we knew is after Ram Raksha, he used to give a little bit of prasad, which was this candied sugar. So whether or not we had devotion, we would go for the prasad that comes. And slowly that developed. So here, if we just realize, I want to experience freedom. What is that highest freedom? According to the Shastras, it is said, Svena Swasmin Swayam Brahma. Sway Mahimni Swanubhuta, an experience which I have to take for myself, and a full realization that is possible. If we want to aspire for it, or if we want to become free in our life, then this is something we should try to reduce our desire, if possible, completely overcome all the desires. Let's continue though. Let us see. Krishna says further about this. Again, we do not know. Arjuna, I told you, is going to give his report card. We'll have to see. Is he going to say, thank you for teaching me such brilliant things? Or, hey, Bhagavan, what did I ask? What are you telling me? We'll have to see Arjuna's response. Let us see. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetaso yashu buddhihi paryavatishthate. Unhappiness in all its forms ends, and all sorrows away this blessing sends. Filling the seeker's mind with ethereal joys, he attains the perfect wisdom's poise. Krishna says, unhappiness, all types of unhappiness will leave that individual who has awakened himself so much, gone free from desires, gone free from hatred, all sorrows. This is a blessing from the divine only, that realization. Then what does that individual do? When that individual keeps doing what we call Chit Kalyanam, purification of consciousness, becoming better, and slowly the individual becomes no more ordinary human consciousness. It is the Nara goes close to Narayana, becomes what we call divine. So a life divine is possible. Sri Aurobindo has talked about it. So many saints have talked about it. Ordinary life starts becoming more and more divine by this blessing. Filling the seeker's mind with ethereal joys, he attains the perfect wisdom's poise. We go on. नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिर् अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्. A very logical question Krishna asks. Ashantasya kutah sukham. He whose wisdom is not focused, his emotions are also not controlled. Uncontrolled emotions only spread disquiet around, and without peace, can happiness be found? I repeat, he whose wisdom is not focused, his emotions are also uncontrolled. Uncontrolled emotions only spread disquiet around. Without peace, can happiness ever be found? Ashantasya kutah sukham. If you are not peaceful, can you be happy? No, it's so simple. I want to be happy, so pehle shant ho jao, no? Become quiet first. Instead of everything is going wrong in my life. It's all right. Let me first become quiet. If I become quiet, I can at least try to solve it. And Krishna says, if you control yourself, even in the most difficult moment, you can become free of suffering. So wisdom is not focused. Emotions are also uncontrolled. When there are uncontrolled emotions, what's going to happen? Relatives come home. Emotions are out of control. What happens then? We will just, there's no shanti only, no complete shanti. Bhanga, it's only fights going on continuously. That day you did like this, 5 years ago you spoke this way, that day you should not have, at least now you should ask forgiveness. I don't tolerate what you have said. It just goes on because the quietude is lost because emotions are running astray. And if you are not quiet, if you are not peaceful, happiness will never come to you in life. That is the simplest truth. Krishna goes on, Indriyani hi charatam yan mano nuvidhiyate tadasya harati prajnam vayurnavam mivam bhasi. Let us remember this example. It's connected to a wind and a boat. Will again this mention of wind example come from Krishna, or is Arjuna going to say? We will see that later. This is Shloka number 67 of the second Adhyaya. Krishna gives a beautiful example. He says, wandering to the whims of the senses, the mind to its own preferred sense attaches. This sense mind leads the intelligence astray, just like the wind blowing a rudderless boat away. So this is the nature of our mind. How does it go? It goes randomly. It goes anywhere. Where does it go? Does the mind go where we tell it to go, or it goes where it wants to go? According to its own preference. Yes, Vijayji wants to say something? Is it? Yeah. So it goes wherever it wants. It is like whatever is preferred to the mind. The mind is trying to have its own control. And there is this connection with the senses and the mind, isn't it? There's a one beautiful bond, or not so beautiful bond, which takes us astray. The senses and the mind, that connection, the mind goes whichever direction the senses find it pleasing. It just goes in that direction only. And Krishna says, this mind which is getting led away is like a wind blowing a rudderless boat away. What happens when you have a boat which is not having a rudder? And you are in that boat, where will that boat go? Who is the captain of that? Who can take that boat in which direction? Yes, Vijiji. Yes, please.
No direction at all.
No direction. This year wind is blowing this side, इसलिए I went this side. Next year wind is blowing another direction. I don't have my own direction. I am what we can say a victim. I will say I am a victim of circumstance, but that is not the way. Nobody is only complete victim of circumstance. Everything can be utilized, but then you need a captain, isn't it? So like that, you need a rudder for your boat. Otherwise, it's just like a boat in the wind, which is going away. That is why Krishna gives an advice to Arjuna. Because Arjuna asks, what do I do? He says here, he says, Tasmadhyasya Mahabahu. If you notice, again and again, Krishna keeps trying to remind Arjuna, hey Kshatriya, you are Mahabahu. You are the Parantapa. He keeps so many attempts he's trying. You get up, get up, get up, Arjuna. Because again, what is Mahabahu? The one with the very powerful shoulders, strong shouldered Arjuna. Remember, he says, Tasmadyasya Mahabahu Nigruhitani Sarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhyas Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. Therefore, your self-control you must reaffirm. Establish you are the boss. Don't let your mind and senses take you astray. Therefore, your self-control you must reaffirm. And in all respects, hold your determination firm. As he who over his senses has mastery obtained, the state of the illumined mind he has verily attained. Again and again, Krishna is talking about awakened state, a conscious mind, illumined mind. My question is, what is this illumined mind? What is the need for us to even aspire for it? Do we need any of this? Because he's saying, hey, Arjuna, control yourself. That's why I'm telling you, focus, focus. Reaffirm that you have self-control. Be determined in that. Always hold your firmness. Because somebody who has mastered his senses, that person attains that higher consciousness. Question is, do we need to get a higher consciousness in life? Is it necessary for us? If yes, why? Why do we need to experience a higher consciousness in life? What is the reason? It's a tall ask. You have to control, you have to say, assign self-control over the mind also. It's not easy, isn't it? It's like a new battle you have to fight. So why should we aspire for it? Yes, Vijiji.
But it is better than the battle of circumstances. You
Isn't it?
go
Yeah.
like a boat in all sides. It's better
Driven
than
by
that.
desires, isn't it? In life, it is like that. No action, reaction. Somebody speaks something, so I speak, and this is my nature. I say that only. I sit down, and every time same cycles keep happening. People change, but experience does not change. Many times we say, "Arey, we are only human. We are only human," but humans are only making so many mistakes, isn't it? So somewhere we must realize I need to not remain human anymore. I have to become something greater than that, or what we call divine. How do we understand what is divine or what is God? Well, just look at the dog. How does the dog look to the owner? People have pets. How does the dog see? Dog's consciousness is different, isn't it? The dog feels that this is a very higher state of consciousness, that is humanity. I can just make some sound and get something, everything. But that is the relation between what is there between God and man. What chasm is there? That is the same. I mean, what is there between man and dog? The same thing is the difference between man and God. There is one more leap of consciousness, and there is a possibility of living a divine life. It is possible to live a higher conscious life. Imagine you and your partners, you and your friends, you and your colleagues having a higher relationship. Higher relationship does not mean you lose your emotions, you lose your, what are the little joys of life. But the lower aspects, no, they can be eliminated. And that is why we must aspire. We want a beautiful relationship with people without having these circumstance of nature and situations. We have to rise above it. That is the great aspiration. And probably that is why we have to try. And the illumined mind is actually something which is very brilliant. It is something where you can get certain clarities, you can get certain glimpses, you can get certain experiences. But it is better to go to that state rather than just think about it and again get obsessed about it. Instead, let that happen naturally. What they say, when the awakening will take place, the Buddhist will say, when the inner lotus blossoms. When will the inner lotus blossom? When you accumulate your virtues. When will you accumulate virtues? By doing good deeds continuously without worrying about anything. That is how the Karma Yoga is also about. So let us keep doing and let us understand at least, no, I don't want to go into that state. Somebody, it's like just even youngsters go through a phase in their life. Some keep partying for a while. After a while, that joy is lost. And then they decide, I don't want to go on this route only. I've been there, I've done that. I don't need anymore. I'm not getting satisfied. So that is how our nature is. That dissatisfaction we have to use to reach a higher state where people should not have their control over us, isn't it? It's like somebody else has a remote over us. Our minds are just somebody's pressing the buttons and I am just dancing according to the situation. That should not happen. For that reason, we must do sadhana. For that reason, we must rise beyond our mental limitations also. But this is a different path for everybody. Let us see. Krishna says here in the next shloka, because not everybody aspires to have self-control, isn't it? Not everybody tries to think that if you say you have to control the mind, they'll say, don't mind. I am like this only. I'll not look at my mind. But there are two perspectives of people only in this world. As previously Krishna said, there are selfless ones, there are selfish ones. They are going to coexist. We're not worrying about changing other people at the moment. Let's worry about transforming ourselves. Let us see. Krishna says, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Munehi. For what is night for those lost in the material dreams? It is day for the dwellers of the spiritual realms. And what is day for the seekers of the material mundane? It is darkness to the illumined man of the spiritual plane. I repeat once more. For what is night for those lost in the material dreams? It is day to the dwellers of the spiritual realms. And what is day for the seekers of the material mundane? It is darkness to the illumined man of the spiritual plane. So these opposite perspectives are there. For whom? So for the person who's running after material dreams, whatever that person considers, if it is night, that night is actually day for the person who's on the spiritual path. Anybody, what does that mean? Are they talking about time zones, India and USA? We say good, they are saying good night. What is this? One day for one person is night for another. Can somebody tell me? Can somebody guess? What could this be? Yes, Kalaji. Yes, please.
I mean, I don't know if it answers, but I've seen people who, I don't know if it's their ego, but they take pride in their ways and their anger. They say if they become kind, someone will take advantage of them.
Yeah, so
I
you
don't know
tell
if it is
them
their insecurity.
it's an insecurity. So such a person, if you tell them, hey, become calm and peaceful, like, wait, don't you do that. Don't you tell that to me. An alcoholic, tell him to leave alcohol. What will that person say? He'll get wild at you, isn't it? Don't you know this is the real spirit? You are on the wrong line of, you're choosing the wrong spirits, is what that alcoholic will tell. Same thing, go to a yogi and ask the yogi, "Hey, I'll give you something which will make you high." He says, no, no, thank you. That's a lower consciousness. I can experience that without having to go there. You speak about attachment, another person will, the yogi will say, I want attachment. But the one who is running after desires will say, I want attachment only, isn't it? These are the opposite perspectives. It's not literal day and night. It is just that what drives a yogi actually stops a bhogi. And what drives a bhogi, the yogi says, hey, I don't need to do that at all. These are two different perspectives that Krishna is saying. Let's go on further. Apuryamanam achala pratishtham samudramapah pravishanti yadvat Tadvat kamam yam pravishanti sarve sa shantim apnoti na kama kami. Just like the many turbulent rivers converge and affect not the vast ethereal oceans as they merge, on reaching the awakened stable mind, all attraction dissolves, not for the one whose mind to the senses whims revolves. Just a moment. Excuse me. Just like when the many turbulent rivers converge and affect not the vast ethereal ocean as they merge. On reaching the awakened stable mind, all attraction dissolves, not for the one whose mind to senses whim revolves. It is simple. Krishna is saying just that. Like, have you seen any river merging into an ocean? Anybody? How is that flow?
It will be
Yes.
very turbulent.
Yes, it will be
It will
very
be very turbulent.
isn't it? But then what happens after merging? After a while, you see that again, the Shanti Sagar only. You see quietude, isn't it? The ocean is calm, the vast ocean. But before merging, it is a turbulence. This is the same thing for a person and his desires. The desires will make that person very turbulent. But when the person reaches that awakened mind, no desire will disturb. That person will reach that silence. But it's not the case for somebody who's running after desires. It's as simple as that. When a person is doing dhyana sincerely and in control of desires, what thoughts will come in? Well, they'll go to a point where there are no thoughts only. Because the mind is in control, says good self-control. But if there's no self-control, it's like, okay, today's dinner, what is going to be there? I hope this chutney is also going to be there. Where is the mantra? Everything is lost. One side, mind is running, thinking, trying to chant something. The other side, the mind is going elsewhere. That is the loss, isn't it? That is what happens when desires, you are not in control. It is as simple as that. Something, a smell comes and the smell immediately takes you away. You hear something, they're gossiping. Right when I'm meditating, only they're going to be talking something bad about me. This kind of thoughts, the mind just takes a person away completely. But that's not the case. That's not the case of some person who is having a great self-control. That's what Krishna is saying. Vihaya kamanyah sarvan pumanscharati nispruhaha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantim adhigacchati. He who from all desires abstains, a complete detachment in life he obtains, and from the senses of ownership and ego he is free, and ergo purely at peace he can be. I repeat, he who from all desires abstains, a complete detachment in life he obtains. From the senses of ownership and ego he is free, and ergo purely at peace he can be. There is no ownership. I don't own anything. Tell me, do we own our family members? Do parents own children? But most of the time, hey, I gave birth to you. I gave food to you. I sponsored your education. You better do what I'm asking you to do. This results in clashes of ego, ahankar, and all those factors. This individual who's given up all desires, all right, everything belongs to the divine. I don't consider anything as my own. Then that person is free, free from any sort of ownership, and so that person is absolutely calm and peaceful. That is a great state. Esha Brahmi sthitihi partha nainam prapya vimuhyati sthitva antakalepi brahma nirvanam rachati. I think Vijayji just gave us an example of somebody in her life, isn't it? Her grandmother. Even in the final moment, she was not disturbed. She was prepared. Most of the time, a person can be identified by how they're living. Their state of consciousness is generally identified by their final moments. Many times it is said that here a person is very well prepared and calm, as if first moment or last moment it doesn't make a difference. It is like that. Oh Arjuna, in this conscious state awakened, the veil of illusion is forever lifted, If the state up to the time of death is sustained, a merger with the infinite is then attained. So if you are able to sustain this until your final moment also, Krishna says there's a direct possibility of moksha only. It's almost like he has given the entire message of the Gita here. What more is needed? But like I said, it is Arjuna here. If I was there, it would have been very boring. Krishna would have said, right? Yes, sir. End of story, no questions. But Arjuna is going to ask questions. Though Krishna has told that if you maintain this state up till that final moment, you will get moksha. How many of the people we know are interested in moksha or getting free? What is moksha is it's a matter of question. It's a matter of debate. What is the moksha according to the Gita? Meaning absolute freedom, realization, all those things. Many people are not bothered. Not everybody's grandparents are like how Vijayji has shared, isn't it? Some people say, this property should not go to that person. That is the last moment. This person was bad to me. I am going to show my this, that, all those things go on. Not everybody is in that state of quietude. Arjuna is now going to speak and we will understand how much he has understood. He had various ratings yesterday, 1 to 10, no, 1 to 9, I think. So, 0 to 9 also. So, let us see what is Arjuna saying. What has he understood from these beautiful shlokas of higher consciousness that Krishna has offered. Arjuna Uvacha, the third adhyaya begins. This is another interesting adhyaya where in the material world, Ms. Krishna is going to, in this adhyaya, erase that boundary between material life and spiritual life. A lot of people think material life is like this, spiritual life is the other way. Both cannot be together. But that is not what the Gita teaches. That is not what Krishna teaches. He doesn't tell us to be monks who are selling our Ferraris. We can be monk in the Ferrari also. Let us see what Krishna says here in this adhyaya later on. Arjuna begins. Arjuna Uvacha. He has a question to ask. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatyam karmani ghore mam niyojasi keshava. He's pretty sharp and blunt. What does he ask? Arjuna asks, Oh Krishna, haven't you just said what is superior? That spiritual knowledge over material action is better. Then why is it you coerce me into action? This ghastly karma on me, why do you sanction? I repeat again, he says, Oh Krishna, haven't you just said what is superior? That spiritual knowledge over material action is better. Why is it that you coerce me into action? This ghastly karma on me, why do you sanction? Anybody, can you tell me what is the ghastly karma Arjuna is referring to?
Killing his gurus, getting into
Yeah,
battle with
taking
his
part
gurus.
in the battle. Krishna told so many times, Tasma Yuddhasva Bharata or Uttishta Arjuna, get back into battle, don't cry, do your work. Suddenly he has a question. And how is this question of Arjuna? He says, you have only told Krishna that spiritual realization, you talked about awakened prajna, becoming free, becoming shanta, becoming conscious of what is this interesting Atman you have described, all of these things you have told. So it implies that spiritual knowledge is better. Then why are you making me do all this nonsense? Help me open a studio. I will open Arjuna Meditation Center. No problem. But why are you asking me to take part in this yuddha? Isn't his question quite, what we can say, logical? Anybody? Yes? Anyone? Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yes, Abhaji?
if we keep aside the subject of karma yoga,
Ha ha ha. Yeah,
it's very logical. It's very logical.
very logical,
Better,
isn't it?
better say do sadhana and
Let
do
us do sadhana, isn't it?
and
Yes.
go to spiritual life.
Yeah, what is the need for all this kind of actions? That is why so many, it's very nice, isn't it, to think about I mean, if we go to a retreat, say we go to the Himalayas or somewhere, it feels wonderful, isn't it? After getting that experience, how many people feel यहीं पे रह जाते हैं, let us stay here only. What's the point? What is there? Even the air here is conscious. Wonderful fresh air is there. I don't want to go back. How many feel that? So,
Yeah, I've
isn't
been to Ladakh.
you have been to Ladakh, Shobhaji says.
And after that, it was like coming back to a different world altogether.
Yeah, isn't it? So,
Same
Arjuna,
experience here. Same
okay, Rekha
experience
is
here.
saying the same thing. Right. So, let's see. And yeah, please continue. Yes, Jim, you were saying something? No, all right.
I'm changing the rating I'm giving him.
Okay, you're changing Arjuna's rate. You're increasing or you're increasing or you're decreasing?
Decreasing.
Decreasing. Okay. How much had you given?
I think maybe 7 or 6.
Okay. Because of this question. But I think you just wait. One more question is coming. You might reduce it further. He says, Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Oh, he says, my mind stands confused and disarrayed, for it fully understands not what you have said. Hence, show me which is the correct way. What will benefit me? I request you to please say. इतना philosophy मत देना, कौन सा एग्जाम में आने वाला है, क्वेश्चन बता दीजिए, I will get marks. I don't need all of it. Is exactly like that. He says, Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohaya sivame. My mind has become more confused. It has become more mohit by your words, Krishna. Tadekam vada nishchit. I mean, speak one thing, no. Dono pakshka you cannot say. It's like you toss a coin, you'll have either heads or tails. Are you talking both heads and tails? He says, Tadekam vada nishchitya. He says, tell me any one thing. Don't speak both sides to me right now. Yena shreyoham apnuyam. So what is Shreya and what is going to benefit me? Tell me which stock to invest, which is going to give me, don't tell me market conditions. You tell me where I'm going to get returns. This is Arjuna's answer for somebody who has, the Yogeshwara has given him Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. But he says, no, tell me something which is going to profit me. Tell me something which is benefiting me. Now, before we go to Krishna's answers, it's better we stop here in this shloka number 2 of the third adhyay. What do we understand from this? Okay, and before that, I'll go to Shobhaji. After this shloka 6 or even lesser, because he says, I didn't understand anything, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, now I think maybe slightly lower, but then I feel maybe is it my ego that I understand it better than Arjuna?
No, we have not read the Gita. We have just been given this. We have to just give a rating. We are not. Nobody can equate to Arjuna, and actually, our aspiration should be first to cultivate Arjuna consciousness. The sincerity and everything is such a level in Arjuna that all of us, if we aspire for that, we will see Krishna as our Sarathi for every day. He will lead us. We'll just have to enjoy. So right now, it is on a lighter note. When we do this, is just for understanding that Arjuna is very much like us. He's asking questions what we need to know or what we need seek also. My question is it considered an insult because he's asking this question?
Never,
isn't it? This also shows the freedom in our Sanatana Dharma, isn't it? This is the real freedom. This is the freedom where a Shishya and Guru can have a samvad no matter what situation it is. He's so free to say, hey, I don't understand anything. That is one more interesting thing. Means, can we at least, whether or not we experience this or we find our gurus and we get a chance for this samvad, can we at least have this kind of freedom among our friends or people we are connected with? Can we give them the same freedom that Krishna is giving Arjuna? Is it possible for us?
yeah.
Isn't it? Without judging, without simply lashing out with a little impatiently, we can probably cultivate some patience like Krishna has cultivated. So much he has told, and yet Krishna is not, he don't see gratitude from Arjuna right now. Instead, Arjuna is tell me. That is one thing. Another aspect is Arjuna's fixation for what is Shreyas, that is something which is very beautiful. There are two words which are there in the Kathopanishad also. If you can understand these two words, your entire life's questions are solved. One is Shreyas and one is Preyas. Anybody has heard of these two words? Arjuna keeps using the word Shreya. Earlier also he said, Yat Shreyaha Syana Nishitam Bruhi Tanme Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Anybody, can you just tell me anything? What do you think? Shreya and Preyas. Yes, Vijiji.
Shreya would be grace.
Hmm?
Shreya would be grace. Grace
Shreya.
life with a lot of Aishwaryam and grace.
Okay, Shreya would be what we can say. Actual word is, it's like what is right. That which is right is Shreyas. That which is, yes, Jay is saying something. Yes, sir.
No, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I think
Okay.
it's
Yes.
what
And
is good versus what is nice.
yes, what
Or
is pleasing,
yeah.
what is pleasing to our senses, which is priyakara to the indriyas, that is prayers, that which our senses like. Many times we desire something, we like something a lot, but that is not necessarily the right thing for us, isn't it? Wait, Rekhaji, were you asking me a question? I'm sorry, I unmuted. No, all right. We are in the second shloka of the third adhyaya. So there is one is Shreyas and another is Preyas. Prayas is that which we feel is good, which is pleasurable. Another is which is right. Most of the time, what is right is not pleasurable, no? It is that is the problem. But to be able to choose like Arjuna at all moments, I want to know what is Shreyas. That is the secret, and that is the secret a young little boy called Nachiketas knew. So Yama also could not, when Yama tested also, Yama was impressed that at such a young age this boy understood, because Yama promised certain things to Nachiketas. Nachiketas had already reached the doors of Yama with his Sharira, with his yoga bala. We had reached that state. And he wanted to aspire and get the highest realization that is possible. That realization which will transcend everything. So Yama decides to very nicely bribe him. What does Yama tell him? He says, Hey, Nachiketas, don't ask me that. Instead, I will give you something else. He says, I'll give you absolutely long, long life, which is not possible for human beings also. Then he says, I shall give you wealth beyond imagination, kingdoms beyond imagination. He says, even the greatest warriors aspire to have such beautiful wives. You will have plenty of them if you want, Nachiketas. You will have all of it. Nachiketas is still not getting, swayed by all these lures and traps. Immediately, then he's offering not just you, Nachiketas, your next 10 births also will have full 100 years. Now, don't you think this is a good deal? We can seal the deal? No, I think Karachi says no. Nachiketas was exactly like that. He said, Acha Yama, you're going to give all of it. It's quite kind of you. Then what's going to happen afterwards? You are going to come, isn't it? And then you'll take everything away. It's just a matter of time. I don't want it. I want to know that secret which is there in the heavens, because of which death is not there in the heavens. With that secret which gods have become immortal with. Give me that secret, and I want to know even that which the gods don't know. And then Yama smiles, he laughs, and he says, Young boy, you have passed the test. You have chosen what is Shreyas over what is Preyas. Not everybody chooses this. Everybody are easily taken for a ride. Compromises, anybody makes it, isn't it? With whatever they desire. But that is something which at least Arjuna is not doing that. Though he is questioning, though he is doubting, that's all welcome. We must remember that Krishna is also Arjuna's friend. So when we talk with friends, we talk absolutely anything. That is how Arjuna is going to talk throughout the Gita. We are fortunate. There's going to be this freedom, and that does not mean disrespect. But he's going to absolutely question and at times doubt our Krishna as well. So with this, we are stopping in the second shloka of the third adhyaya, where Arjuna has effectively with two questions or two shlokas negated all the shlokas that Krishna has said. He says, I don't get you. Don't speak on both ends. Yes, with this we conclude our session today. Can someone recollect what is it that we saw? Some take-home points for today? Yes, please. Anybody? Yes, sir.
In chasing the senses or sense objects leads to attachments. Attachments leads to desire. Desire leads to
Anger.
anger. Anger then leads to loss of memory,
Yeah.
and loss of memory leads to poor.
Buddhi
Sorry?
nasha, loss of intellect.
Yeah, loss of wisdom or
Loss of
intellect.
wisdom.
Yeah.
That destroys the individual. Yes, that's one, a cycle, a ladder. We can say a ladder of fall, we can call it. Or I think Divine Life Society has also called some set of shlokas, ladder of the fall. I'll try to find it out, which they are. But this is one fall which happens when we get attached to our indriyas. So that is one thing Jayaji has shared. Anybody else? Any point we can take home with us today? So I think the take-home point is let's not get attached to desires, isn't it, sir? So because it's going to ultimately destroy. Say anything else, anyone? Yes, Kalaji.
Transcendence or yoga or whatever we call it, with hate, it cannot happen. So
Yeah.
we have to work at getting rid of hate.
Yes. Dvesha is one big problem actually. Because we become the monsters which we despise without our knowledge. That hatred consumes us slowly, it enters into us. So keeping that, it does not mean we don't reject things. Yoga teaches us to reject. We have to reject anything that lowers our consciousness. That is equally important. But don't hate it. Hatred will not allow you to understand anything. So that was one more point which Kalaji has added. Yes, anybody else? Yes, Shwetaji? Yes, please.
Also that peace is the cornerstone for happiness.
Ashantasya kuta sukham. I'm not having any happiness in life. Are you silent? Are you able to become quiet? If you can become quiet, then experience some happiness. It's like happiness is really cost nothing. You can become very happy irrespective of what is there in life. We can say gratitude will flow when you are quiet. And when you have gratitude, it's like it's plentiful. The heart that has gratitude is able to feel very rich. It's like the person may not have everything. Say, like in a people sitting on a on a big table with so many cuisines and so many dishes, and still they can be unhappy. And yet people sitting on the floor without a table, same dish, five people are sharing and eating, can still experience that happiness. Because with gratitude, even less feels abundant. So we have to first bring that quietude inside. Only then we can experience the other wonderful qualities that are there, that are actual treasures of life. Yes, with this, I think we can conclude unless anybody else wishes to add any other point or takeaway.
Another thing I was thinking, Sushritji,
Yes, sir.
we have a hatred for somebody, instead of forgiving them, that makes you a plane above them. I'm forgiving them. That kind of an attitude. You can just accept what has happened to you.
We can
I
say
think
bring
that
a
gives you a
closure to
more.
it, isn't it? Because you can get a closure actually. It's cathartic. You can understand it. It's all right. Sometimes the people do certain things which are unforgivable. That is in life. So it has happened. It has happened. I accept it has happened. I don't like it. I'll never like it. I will not tolerate. I'll take steps to ensure this never happens again. These are things that we can do. But if we hate, we will not get catharsis at all. Healing will not take place. Absolutely. Yes, that was one important point which Vijayji shared. It's difficult. It's difficult. But let us see when one more thing was the prasada which comes, isn't it? The happiness which comes from control, self-control. That happiness which comes from having full control. It's like I think we must all have had experience of watching TV with our siblings. lot of fights would have happened for the remotes. Which channel? So if we don't have self-control, just think about it. Somebody else is controlling our life's channels. So that's something we don't like. So at least for that reason, let me have the remote of my own life in my hands. I will not allow somebody else to push my buttons. I'm going to choose which channel I want to watch. For that, at least I need to rise from my sense-bound consciousness, even logic-bound mind, mental consciousness also to something which is higher. What it is, well, let us experience. No need to visualize. It will happen when we experience it. So I think with this, we conclude with the Shanti Mantra. We are now into the third adhyaya of the Bhagavad Gita. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tatsat, Krishna Mande, Jagat Guru. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Beloved,
Thank you.
see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, and please feel free to use the group for sharing. I'll try to respond whenever I can, but other participants can also share each other's insights. In a previous batch, some participants would take notes and they would share their notes. It was very interesting how different notes of different people were inspiring, and some people wrote books also from their notes only. So you can just share and if you wish to. All right. Hari Om. Namaste.